Hi guys. It's Vicky Stark. Um, so glad to be here. I came rushing into the house because I was standing in line outside the grocery store, waiting for my order, waiting for my name to be called in the freezing cold, which I'm sure you know only too well, hoping they did have eggs to put into my order. You can do that. I'm sure a lot of you can. Anyhow, we're here now, and I'm delighted to be here with you, as always. And I have 4 questions tonight that have to do with how people relate to the other people who are affected by your husband leaving, and how to deal with that. So, the first question is Lacey. And Lacey says, what's the best way to explain to people what happened while taking the high road and not dragging him through the mud like he did me? I'm not saying I want to protect him, but I want the truth of what he did without causing drama. And I love this question because I remember after my husband left, how all I wanted to do was tell everybody, do you know what he did? He did this terrible thing. And I want them to say, oh my God, this is awful. And I wanted to be scandalized, and I wanted them to hate him, and I wanted them to take him aside. And I found that most of the time when I presented it that way, people sort of looked at me like, what's this woman? Unless they were, of course, they were my dear friend, just sort of telling people in my community or acquaintances, that he did this thing, would put them in an awkward position. And they felt that they were supposed to respond in a particular kind of way, that I was sort of sending out the vibe, that they were supposed to respond in a particular kind of way. And I think it makes people feel uncomfortable. So I think that as much as you may want to sort of shout it from rooftops, to tell everybody how awful his spirit is and how much he hurt you and all of that, I think that, Lacey is right, to take the high road, to be more measured, to not come across too dramatic, but just to say what happened. He left. I wasn't expecting it. It really came shock. And then let the other person, let the listener sort of absorb that information, more gently than if you really hammered home how horrible and outrageous the behavior has been. Then the listener can sort of make up his or her own mind as to how they're going to react to what you've told them. Okay, question number 2. The next 2 questions are about kids. So Renee asks, how does selling the family home affect the kids? The kids are 10 and 12, and this is the only place that they've ever lived. Their dad has his own place now, so they've stayed there. I probably wouldn't stay in the current area. I can't go far. A fresh start would be nice, but it would require changing schools. When is the best time to take this jump? So it's a good question, and I work a lot with kids, and I'm a family therapist. So I've done a lot of divorce work with kids, even before the whole Runaway Husbands book came to light. And I think that often parents underestimate your children. You feel like if your children are not terribly traumatized, you feel like you want to keep everything as stable as possible. And of course, that's good. But I also think that children are able to tolerate change based on how you present it to them. If you give them the vibes that this is so terrible and I'm so sorry and we're moving and you poor kids and you've only lived here, then they're going to pick up the news that this is a bad thing. But if you make it more, I think kids are perfectly capable of moving to a new location, moving to a new house, finding some good things about it, having a bit of an adventure in that. And you want to that you're imagining for them. about it so much. If you want, and if that works for you, and I'm sure you're well cared for, that you'll find a nice, comfortable place for them to live in their space, then just go ahead and do it. And you'll just be sensitive to how they're experiencing it. And even if they do feel sad in the beginning, they'll adjust. So very often it's how the mom and the dad deal with things that give the kids the message about how they should deal with things. So, next question is also about kids. The message is here. Oh, Mary Helen likes my necklace. Thanks, Mary Helen. Isabel says, should I worry that my kids don't be affected by the separation and their new lifestyle, which is alternating weeks, mom and dad's? Or is it that they haven't yet accessed what it means? And this is basically, it's sort of like a bit of the same question, which is that if the kids seem fine, then assume that the kids are fine. You don't want to be digging for problems. Some kids can really adjust to it. That's my dog. So don't worry about that weird sound you're hearing. Kids can totally adjust to it, and they don't have a problem with it. Chloe, come here. And if they're not demonstrating a problem, don't assume that there's some subterranean thing going on there. They're probably doing fine. And, of course, it's an adjustment going from mom's house to dad's house, but perhaps the two of you are handling it well, and the kids are just, very adaptable. So I would think, don't worry about it, unless they tell you that they're very miserable, or they're very stressed, or you can see that they're withdrawn, or you can see some behavioral changes. So, last question comes from Paula, who says, do you or you continue a relationship with his family? I love my sister-in-law and my nieces, and I don't lose them. So, Paula, don't lose them. It's that these are people that you love, that you care about. It may take a little period of adjustment to be able to get together with them and not talk about him. And that might be the elephant in the room, but if you bring it up and you say, it might be awkward that we're not talking about him, but, you guys are so important to me. Let's just have fun, just be together. And I think that, there's enough love to go around, for you to be able to be loving with your sister-in-law and your nieces and not have to lose them. And if they're up for it, go for it. I think it's a great thing. So that's it for tonight. I hope everyone's hanging in there. Take care of yourself. Be well. Be patient. The easy time is not going to last forever. I'm promising you that. Like after your husband left, and it felt like it's going to be forever. Not. And you will move on in time, and we are going to get through this time period, whether you're adjusting to your husband leaving, or it's the virus that's really stabilizing you. Just have a long view and get through this together. So take care, be well, and that's it for tonight.